Hello my friends, in today's video we will take a look at the unboxing of the new iPhone 14 Pro, and I would also like to share my first impressions and thoughts about this device. This year I have chosen the new space black color and 512GB of storage. I have had the silver iPhone 13 Pro the last year, and I was actually hoping that Apple will introduce a proper black version, so the choice was pretty easy. It should also be much easier to film in comparison to my silver/white 13 Pro. The unboxing is very straightforward as usual. The box is white this time, which is a change in comparison to the last year's iPhone. The box is once again very thin because there isn't much in it. The iPhone sits right on the top. There is no foil on the backside, so you just need to peel the white sticker from the front side, and that's the unboxing. Besides the iPhone, you will also get a 1 meter long Lightning to USB-C cable, some paperwork, and an Apple sticker. Much like with the 13 Pro, there is no charger in the box, which is fine by me. We will get to the charging later on. My very first impression is that this space black color scheme looks fantastic. I especially like those sort of dark chrome flat edges. They create a nice contrast with the matte black backside without breaking the color scheme. The build quality is traditionally flawless, which is not a surprise. I still like space gray Apple products, but space black is a very pleasant change. The camera unit is very substantial, but there isn't a huge size difference in comparison to 13 Pro, so if you are able to get used to the aesthetics of the 13 Pro, 14 Pro should be fine as well. Importantly, there are some big camera hardware updates inside of that camera bump. Fortunately, we are getting full camera capabilities on the non-Max 14 Pro. 14 Pro uses a very large 1/1.28 inch type sensor with 48 megapixel resolution on the main camera. So far I have only taken a couple of images in my backyard, but the results seem very promising. Apple is moving away from using 12 megapixel sensors, but it will still use pixel binning in most applications, including the video. Another interesting change is the 24mm focal length on the main camera. If you follow this channel, you will probably know that I approve of that. 48 megapixel resolution should also make the digital zoom much more usable. I will make a dedicated 14 Pro camera review very soon, of course. The display has also been significantly improved. It still uses a 6.1 inch 460 pixels per inch display with 120 Hz refresh rate, but the peak brightness is now 2000 nits, which is very impressive. Dolby Vision HDR content on this screen looks really great as usual. The second and probably the most noticeable difference is that the signature notch was replaced by a pill-shaped cutout. Apple is obviously not the first company to do this, but the dynamic island interface, which integrates various notifications and app interactions, sets the iPhone apart. I think that it is an upgrade over the notch, so I do appreciate this long-awaited change. The third change is the always-on display. I won't salute Apple too much for this because it should have been introduced generations ago, but much like with the dynamic island, the implementation is top-notch. The display is great overall. It is an excellent OLED panel with great contrast and brightness, as well as the colors, so I have nothing to complain about. A bit of a pleasant surprise is the new A16 Bionic, which indeed uses a 4nm architecture. It offers a solid increase in power in comparison to the already very powerful A15. These new iPhones can do some very difficult tasks, such as editing 100 megapixel RAWs with no issues whatsoever. It will also be great for mobile gaming. On the other hand, a disappointment is that the iPhone 14 Pro series still doesn't support Wi-Fi 6E. I happen to have a 6E capable mesh network, but I won't be able to utilize it with an iPhone 14 Pro, so thumbs down for that. Fortunately, this is the European version, so there is a tray for a physical SIM card. Honestly, I would and realistically will miss the option to use a physical SIM card, which is not possible with the US version. Another curiosity regarding the EU version is that it has the CE conformity marking and a pictogram prompting you not to throw your iPhone 14 Pro into a trash can, so please don't do that. Basically, the last update besides the Wi-Fi 6E that I will still be waiting for is USB-C. 14 Pro is probably the last iPhone to use the Lightning, and the specs are not great. It seems that it still only supports 20-watt charging and USB 2.0 transfer speed. I still use a 5-watt charger to maximize the lifespan of the battery, so I don't mind it that much. The battery is also slightly larger in comparison to the 13 Pro at 3200 mAh, and A16 should also be a little bit more frugal, so I expect very good battery life on the 14 Pro. iOS 16 offers a lot of new features and more options to customize your iPhone, so the users who like this Android-style approach will be happy about that. The new wallpaper/lock screen settings are still reasonably simple, so it also works fine for more minimalistic-oriented users such as myself. Other small improvements, such as being finally able to see the battery percentage on the home screen, are also very nice. To sum up, I think that the iPhone 14 Pro is the best iPhone since the iPhone 10. It has a great display, plenty of power, the build quality is fantastic, the camera seems to be very promising, and so on. The new display cutout offers at least some design change, and the implementation of the dynamic island is outstanding. Basically, the only thing that I miss at this stage of technology is the USB-C. iPhone 14 Pro is expensive, but that is hardly a surprise. Euro is not doing great, so the EU price unfortunately reflects that. Overall, I am very happy with the 14 Pro, so stay tuned for the camera review and other related videos on this channel. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching, I hope that you liked this video and that you have found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section, and see you next time.